Hi, folks. We'll get started in a couple minutes, just letting everybody join the call. Okay, looks like the number of folks rolling in is slowing down a little bit, so I think we're probably good to get going here.
All right.
Can everybody see my screen? Anthony, you can see it?
Yes.
I've got some hands up, so I'm going to take that as a sign that you can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Awesome. Thanks, everybody in the chat, for letting me know you can see it. That's super helpful. Okay. So good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on the call to introduce the Tourism Resiliency Program for Vancouver Island and the Sunshine Coast. Today on the call, you have myself, Hannah Grant, and Anthony, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Anthony Everett, Tourism Vancouver Island. Happy to be here, and I will speak in just a moment. So let Hannah finish this part. Thanks.
We'll do just a couple of housekeeping notes. Just so everybody knows, we will be recording the webinar today, as well as any future webinars, and posting links to those on the program website, which is victrp.ca. During the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to add them into the Q&A section. We will get back to each and every one of you individually with answers to your questions as the program rolls out. And all of those questions are very helpful because they're going to help us build an FAQ section on that program website. So big or small, please feel free to send those in to us. And thank you so much to everyone who has sent in questions in advance via email. Those are going to be really helpful for us as we continue forward. Over to you, Anthony.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. This is a very difficult time for you and for all of us. And we really today wanted to recognize that fact. Also introduce this new program, the Vancouver Island Coastal Tourism Resiliency Program, a little bit about why it's happening, some findings that we have found up and down the island. I should also point out Gulf Islands and the Sunshine Coast. And we're going to share that. This is really the start of what we're going to be doing probably for the foreseeable future as an organization, trying to help all of you as best we can. It is with, I'm seeing people chat at me, and I tell you, it'll be hard for me to get through this because you're all my friends and colleagues, and I've been doing this now for over 30 years, and to be at this point in time and knowing how hard it is for all of you is really tough for me, and I know it is for you. So all I can tell you through my computer screen today is how important you are to us, and we're going to do our humble best. We are a small but mighty organization working with many partners to make this happen for you, and that is what is motivating us every day. I see, I won't point out all of my friends that are saying nice things here right now because, like I said, I got to get through this. So thank you for coming. I hope you come to many more. I hope you find this useful. This is really the start. I can't emphasize that enough. What's the next screen, Hannah? Let's keep moving and all. Oh, here we go. So I just wanted to point out that, many of the board of directors for Tourism Vancouver Island are are in operations like many of yours, and they run the gamut here on the island. And they are owner operators. Some of them have been owner operators. Some of them now are senior employees of many businesses, and including some community input. And they've really, been supportive of this program and had tremendous input and feedback, and those come in daily to us. So if you don't know who they are, we're happy to put you in touch with them. I think what they're finding, that us all talking as an industry right now is helpful, and sharing is helpful, and that's what we're trying to do. So we do take into consideration their input as well. Oh, here we go. And I just wanted to say that, have seen our role for the last couple years, as really helping the industry unify, amplifying all the good things that have been happening, and collaboration. And now we're at this point in time where collaboration is critical to all of our success, and we were going to continue to do that and help amplify the struggles that you're having, and take them and message them appropriately into various levels of government, so that we can try to get through this time and then into a period of recovery in the future. So our new role, as we see it, through this program, when we say our role in the system, it is for now. It is for the way ahead to help you. We've been working through business intelligence, talking to each business, or as many businesses as we can on Vancouver Island, gathering where your struggles are and passing those in on a day-to-day basis into government. I have a daily meeting with the ministry staff, and we are able to share many of the things that are going on and where your needs are. And we will be continuing to look at marketing recovery programs and a number of other initiatives that we'll be looking to. But this one today is about business recovery and keeping our businesses together, and having as many of them available to us as possible at any time, but helping you is our goal. And I do mention advocacy here because I think it's important to recognize that right now everything that you are sending us, I'm doing my best to send it through appropriate channels. And I will continue to do so. And even the things that you've sent around questions of today, where we don't have answers, because I'll be really honest, we don't have all the answers yet, and we're struggling every day to try to find them for you. Those do get passed on, and they are shared. Go ahead, Hannah. So the business intelligence work that we've been doing has been reaching out to each of you. You've expressed your appreciation for this, but there's been some many key learnings that we've been able to form through these phone surveys that we've done. And I should also point out my regional colleagues, other regional organizations around the province, we're all working together to pull this information to send it into government. So every morning we share findings, and every week we send a more detailed report into the ministry staff. And a couple times a week, we've been talking to the Minister of Tourism, Lisa Bear, the Honorable Lisa Bear, and we know that the information we have has been helpful to her in her cabinet discussions. Go ahead, Hannah. So some of the key findings we've had, I hesitate to point these out, but I think it is important for us to know, and for you to know, what we're looking at right now currently, and we'll continue to gather this information about businesses. 44% of businesses temporarily being closed, reduction of hours, and the type of cancellations that we're seeing up and down the island, Gulf Island, Sunshine Coast. And the cancellations now, we know, are going into 2021. So we're going to continue to provide information to you as necessary, just so that you know what is happening beyond your business, if that is at all helpful to you. So again, there are many layoffs. This is the information we're seeing up and down the island. I think it's important for you to know this information as well, because maybe there's some best practices that can be shared, and those are the kinds of things that you give us your knowledge, and we will try to amplify them and send them out elsewhere. And I don't think we need to go into business losses. We know it's devastating right now. So here's some of what we've learned, and why this program is kicking off today, is that businesses really have been giving us many bits of feedback that we are able to advocate into government, from gaps in relief measures to things they need around reductions in fees and how they're helpful or not helpful. and other fixed costs issues like from insurance, and others that we need to be mindful of and passing on into government and getting help where we can. We know that our minister provincially is meeting with the federal minister, and information does pass back to us. And like I said, one of the things we know is in terms of streamlining communications and business support, that you need help. This is what we've heard loud and clear from around the province through the other regional organizations and here on Vancouver Island, is that businesses, you need help navigating through all these various programs. And that's why this is kicking off and today, and why we want to be doing this into the future, is helping you find your way through all these various programs that are now happening and ones to come, because at times they are confusing, and our job will be to help go through them and get you some level of understanding to go through the program, into a program. So again, here's many of the things we're hearing up and down the island that are your needs. And I think that, the obvious, I don't want to state the obvious, you can see them in red. And from financial support, relief, all those kind of things, I do think that keeping connection is part of our role, so that you know that you're not in this alone. And we've also heard that loud and clear as well. So here are various partners. I do want to point out that for Tourism Vancouver Island, our critical partner is the ministry. We do work with them directly through a contract. And then many other partners, including our regional organizations, Indigenous Tourism BC. We're getting some HR advice from Chemistry Consulting. And of course, our community leads up and down the island. We are a team, and we approach this as a team, and we meet weekly as communities. And we meet daily with my regional colleagues, not to mention the ministry. But I do want to highlight that we will be working through this program. Starting today, we'll start working with Destination British Columbia in a similar capacity in the Vancouver Coastal Mountains region. And it will also be going out into other parts of the province through all our regional partners, and that will be happening imminently too. We've started this program, and I really do want to stress that the Islands Coastal Economic Trust were the ones that came to us. I can't believe it's been only about 7 days. We've shifted our whole organization in 7 days with the support of ICE-T and funds that allow us to do this hands-on service that we're delivering today. So a big shout out to all these partners, and we will continue to work with each and every one of them to work with you through this very difficult time. And with that, I believe it's your turn, Hannah, to walk them through some of the nuts and bolts of the program. Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony. So as Anthony mentioned, over the past few weeks, we've been collecting information, stories, data from all of you across the Vancouver Island and Sunshine Coast region. And as a result of that work and our collaboration with all of our partners, we have launched the Vancouver Island Coastal Tourism Resiliency Program. So I'm going to take you through the program today, give you a bit of a highlight of how it works and what we're hoping to accomplish through this program. So the Resiliency Program is really designed to provide our tourism businesses on Vancouver Island, the Gulf Islands, and the Sunshine Coast with meaningful hands-on guidance to navigate the current situation, to help you adapt, and to help you work towards long-term resiliency. We're really taking a long-term lens here. We're adapting to the landscape. We're going to help you through this time. And we really want everyone to come out of it as really strong, resilient businesses. So our tourism businesses have identified that they need support navigating some of the funding, some of the resources, and being able to sustain viability during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we are here to lend our leadership, our expertise, and our resources to connect you with information, with advice and solutions, all towards developing that resiliency. So the program summary, what's really cool about this program in phase 1 is we're going to be able to help you schedule your calls with experts in human resources, finance, and legal services. So our team of program representatives are going to be reaching out to you to help you navigate the relief and recovery measures, any associate applications as they become available, and you'll be matched one-on-one with that program staff. So that means that you're going to have ongoing personalized support throughout the program with our team. Just to break down kind of how it works and what it's going to look like, businesses will either register for the service, you can actually do so today on the website, And we'll also be making proactive calls to our business partners on Vancouver Island. As you know, we've been calling and doing the research program over the past few weeks. So this is going to become integrated into our process. Our program representatives at that point will conduct a discovery and kind of needs analysis with you and identify where you need support and where you're looking to connect with someone during this time. We'll then take all of that information back and develop a support plan for you. So within the support plan, we'll be sending over immediate action items that you can take, resources that we can send to you right off the bat, and we'll also be setting you up with those experts that you've identified. The system also allows us to follow up with you regularly. Your regular program support person will be touching base to see how you're working through the action items. And then, of course, as a situation evolves, if you need to speak to a different expert or come back to us for an adapted support plan, you'll be able to just jump right back into that funnel and work with us through as a situation evolves and your needs change. So that's phase one of the program. Phase two of the program is a series of webinars. We're really going to keep our ears to the ground here, looking for feedback, working to understand your immediate needs, and tailoring these series of webinars as the situation evolves. You'll see here just a few suggestions that we've had already about webinar topics, and they'll roll out based on what you're saying you need to have immediately. So that can look like how to access the federal, provincial, and other relief measures. It can even be keeping staff and customers safe during the crisis, these sorts of topics. So as we're going through today, or if you're thinking about it later, please feel free to share these webinar ideas with us. You can throw it in the Q&A, you can throw it in the chat, you can email me, whatever you would like. If you have ideas about what sort of relief you need for this program, we're here to help you out with this webinar series. All of these webinars will be available on the website, so you'll be able to go back and listen to them at any time if you're not able to join us during the live webinars. And then this is a program that we're working on together. It's an iterative process. We're going to move really quickly. We're going to be adaptable. We're going to be really critical. So any feedback that you have about what you need, if there's gaps, please let us know. This program is here for you. And we also recognize that the situation is always changing. So we're going to be as adaptable in our team as we possibly can to be there for you. We're going to update our resources on the website as much as possible so that you always have a central spot, and work with our partners to make sure that we're all well aligned on those resources for you. So the website is live. So if you go to victrp.ca, you can actually register for the program now, and you can stay tuned there for future webinars. Just in terms of key dates, we will be scheduling calls over the next couple weeks. So we're really looking to provide immediate support where we can. We'll be keeping in touch on the program via email, and right now we're supporting you through a training period. So as Anthony mentioned, we kicked this off about 7 days ago. Over the next 10 to 14 days, we're going through training, operationalizing the program, and we're working with you alongside throughout all of that. So if you sent us questions in the Q&A or in the email in advance, like I mentioned, we'll be building a full knowledge base for the questions that we can answer right away. And for the remaining questions, we'll be reaching out to you directly. So make sure that your contact info or that your name is associated with those Q&As so we can get back to you as soon as possible. And that is a brief overview of the program, and I'll pass it over to you, Anthony.
Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, I wanted to reiterate that we are doing this as quickly as possible. We really appreciate there's over 250 of you on this call, and we really appreciate you taking the time for this. We didn't want to belabor it because we are forming this as we speak, but we will get back to you. We will get back to you as quickly as possible with your questions. I know already that some of the questions you're asking, I don't have an answer for, but our job will be to go find out the best answer we can provide. Much of my formative training, you might not know this, some of you, that was many years working at Butchart Gardens. And if there's one thing I took away from that time, a very formative time for me, was that I never said no to anything. It was always, yes, I will find the answer for you. And so that is our approach. We are doing that right now, and we will continue to do so in the foreseeable future. I mean, there's many other partners I'm probably not mentioning today that we will be working with in the future as things start to come online. Other ministries in the provincial government, chambers of commerce, economic development, many. We're all trying to work together to provide you the best that we can around information gathering and different programs. And we will do that, and we will get back to you very soon. So please stay tuned. And I hope you all have, from our family, our Tourism Vancouver Island team, that you have the best that you can over the next Easter long weekend this weekend. And stay safe, everyone. We're thinking about you every day, pretty much every minute right now, and we will do our best to serve you. Thank you.
So as Anthony mentioned, we will send out the recording. So if you've missed any part, you can go ahead and go back later. Thank you everybody so much for joining us, and we will be talking to you soon.
Thank you.